So in this video, we're going to take a look at inequalities. We're going to try to understand what they are and how we can illustrate them on a number line. So first of all, you will hopefully be familiar already with a symbol that looks like one of these. And these are the four symbols that represent inequalities. Now, what we can do is we can use them to describe statements. So very nice, simple, easy example. 4 is greater than 3. So if I draw this symbol in, that illustrates that, okay? So we could either say 3 is less than 4 or 4 is greater than 3, but I don't want to get bogged down in that. I want you to imagine this as a crocodile, okay? So I'm going to draw some teeth in it. Let's give it a nose, maybe an eye, okay? And I want you to remember the one thing, that the crocodile always goes for the biggest number. And if we can remember that, we are going to have a true statement, all right? So have a think about the next one. 12 and then symbol 3. Is that statement true or false? Well, it's false because the crocodile isn't going for the biggest number. We need to make sure we write it that way around, okay? So an inequality is just telling us which thing is greater. Now, we can also write x's and have some algebra in this. So if I imagine this statement here, what does that mean? Well, we could either say it as x is less than 4, or we could say 4 is greater than x. Those two statements are identical. It doesn't matter which way around we do it. So don't get caught up in that. That can be a problem place where people lose understanding. So that's what it means. Now, sometimes we can put an extra line here. And that means that x could be less than 4 or equal to 4. Okay, so less than 4 or equal to 4. If I had x greater than or equal to 2, it would look like this. If I had 2 is less than or equal to x, it would look like that. Are those statements the same? Yes, they are, because in both cases, the crocodile is going for the bigger number, that x is greater than or equal to the 2. So hopefully that helps you to understand what inequalities are. Now then, let's think about how we can draw a diagram to represent them. So we're going to use these as examples. Let's think about A. Now, first of all, I'm going to draw a number line. And of course, when you're doing this, you can use a ruler, right? And I'm going to put a 3 right in the center. Now, number lines always goes from left to right, going up. So something like that. Now, if I want to draw x being greater than 3, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle over the 3 and an arrow pointing in the direction that x could possibly be. So if x is greater than 3, it means my arrow is going to the right, going up. It's going to all the numbers greater than 3. So that is how I'm going to illustrate that inequality on a number line. Now, if I want to have a quick look at B, right, in this case, have a quick think about it. What do you think we're going to do? Well, first of all, we're going to have the circle over the 4, and this time we're less than 4, so we're going to have this pointing down. But do you notice there is that line there, which means that x actually could be 4 itself, less than or equal to 4. Now, if we see that, the way to illustrate that is to shade in the circle. So there we can see b is less than or equal to 4. Now, let's move on to C, and we'll do some negative numbers now. Now, if we are drawing negative numbers, be very, very careful about how we draw them. Because if I'm going to write -2 there, because I can see a -2 on my question, well, a number bigger than 2 is -1, then 0, then 1, then 2, and so on. So be careful about the way you write these. -1 is a bigger number. It's larger than -2, even if it doesn't feel right saying that. Okay, now x is less than or equal to -2, so I'm definitely going to be shading this in, and numbers less than -2 are -3, -4, -5, and so on. So C is going to look like that. Now, Let's just skip D because it's pretty similar, but let's have a quick look at E. Now, this is complicated, right? Okay, we're going to have a big job here. Now, I am definitely going to be writing in -2 and 4 on my number line. So let's just write this down. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So now, if I imagine covering up the 4, I can definitely see that x is greater than -2 or equal to it. So I am going to be colouring in -2, and I know my arrow is going to be moving to the right because I'm greater than -2. And in exactly the same way, if I get rid of the -2 and look at the right-hand side, I can see that x is less than 4. So that means a circle that isn't shaded, and it's going to be going to the left. So if I connect those up, that situation there means that x can be greater than or equal to -2 or less than 4. So those do not have arrows, they are just connected. Okay. Now, let's move on and see if we can do this the opposite way around. Can we work out the inequality if we're given the illustration? So let's take a look at A. Well, we have a number pointing away from -2 going up. So this means that x is greater than -2. However, it's shaded in, so it means that x is greater than or equal to -2. In B, we have a circle over the 2. So it's going down. X is less than 2. Let's take a look at C. Now, we've got two numbers here. We can see that x is definitely going to be bigger than -2, and it's going to be smaller than 3. So if you're drawing these out, I would write it out with the smaller number to the left of the x and the larger number to the right of the x, and then think carefully about the inequality symbols afterwards. So if we're greater than -2, the crocodile goes for the bigger number, remember? We're going to have our symbol like that. And x is less than 3, well, we're going to look like that. In D, in exactly the same way, we're going to say that we have a -3, an x, and a -1. We are bigger than or equal to -3. We are smaller than -1. Finally, let's take a quick look at E. We know we are between -4 and 2. We are bigger than -4, and we are smaller than or equal to 2. So our inequality symbols are going to look like that. Okay, I hope that helps you to understand how to draw an inequality on a number line and how to write down an inequality given a number line.